Good morning, friends. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Love is the only answer. Love is the way to go. Love, 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 love. Let our circle grow a little louder. Love is the only answer. Love is the way to go. Love, 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 love. Let our circle grow. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Let's get together and feel all right. It's true. When I get together with you, I feel all right. And you know, today I feel especially terrific. It's Tuesday, June 22nd, and today we are celebrating our graduates from our program. So this afternoon, when we go online together, when we do our virtual school together, we're going to celebrate the graduates. That makes me feel good inside. Look, it's a gorgeous sunny day today. It's a little bit cool, so that's why I have a longer sleeve on. You may have to dress a little more appropriately, warmly, if you're going outside today. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's nice to have you here. Hello, Angela. Hello, Pradeep. Hello, Ashraf. It's nice to have you here. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Ken. Hello, Jake. It's nice to have you here. Hello, Sophia. Hello, Vanny. Hello, Miss Coulterman. It's nice to have you here. Indeed, every day it's nice to have you here with me. Oh, I just love this image. It's an Indigenous illustration created by Jennifer Adomiad from Smithers, BC. It's called Our Home and Native Land. And I just love that it shows various symbols and animals that represent various traditions and stories and ways of being for people in the Indigenous community. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we are hosted today is the Mississauga of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat. And here where I live at Lake Simcoe, I walk the sacred land of the Ojibwe and the Chippewa. We also recognize the enduring presence of all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Indeed. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. On everyone I meet, I'm gonna let it shine. On everyone I meet, I'm gonna let it shine. On everyone I meet, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Every day, every way, I'm gonna let my little light shine. And that's what I want you to do, my friends, throughout the summer. Let your light shine from inside. Let the beauty of you maintain sort of a calm, happy attitude. Try to be happy and calm and share of yourself. Let that beauty of yourself shine. Rise and shine. The world's been turning and everyone is waking. Rise and shine. On this new day, the morning light is breaking. Rise with the rest of us, shine like a pearl. Rise and show your love all around the world. Yes, rise with the bluebird, shine like the sun. Now's the time to rise and shine. Now's the time to rise and shine. I also want to remind you that yesterday was National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21. And of course, there's the beautiful Indigenous flag. So I think it's nice to continue to honor. I have a beautiful book I'm going to read to you today called The Giving Tree. And it's a wonderful Métis story. But first, I'd still like to sing a few more songs. I try to sing songs that I would sing if I was paddling in my canoe or my kayak, because canoes and kayaks were both invented by the Indigenous people. Kayaks, and for a kayak, you have one paddle that goes across the kayak, and you dip down and down, right and left. My paddle's clean and bright, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing your back. Flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. So these are songs that you can sing, that if you're in a canoe or a kayak, or even if you're walking, hiking this summer. Let's try that one again. Pretend you're in a kayak. So 2 hands on your kayak paddle. You dip to one side and then you dip to the other side. Dip, dip. My paddle's keen and bright, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing her back, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing. So that's if you're paddling a kayak, the paddle goes across. And if you're paddling a canoe, you put one hand on the paddle and one hand on the end of the paddle. And you stroke. Land of the silver birch, home of the beaver, where still the mighty moose wanders at will. Blue lake and rocky shore, I will return once more. Boom diddy yada, boom diddy yada, boom, 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 boom. Try that with me. Pretend you've got a canoe paddle. We'll go to the left and then we'll go to the right. Land of the silver birch, home of the beaver, where still the mighty moose wanders at will. Blue lake and rocky shore, I will return once more. Boom diddy yada, boom diddy yada, boom, 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 boom. Good for you. Summer camp is coming up very soon, and I hope a lot of you are going to summer camp. And I've been telling you recently that a lot of summer camp songs have that boom, boom, boom sound, just like you heard in Land of the Silver Birch. So let's try boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Giddy and foolish the whole day through. Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Try it with me. Try it with me. Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Giddy and foolish the whole day through. Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy? Good for you. That's another boom, boom song. How about the ants go marching one by one? Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. The little guy stopped to suck his thumb, and they all went marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Boom, boom, boom. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two. The little guy stopped to tie his shoe. And they all went marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Boom, boom, boom. Another boom song. The ants go marching three by three. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three. The little guy stopped to climb a tree. And they all went marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Boom, boom, boom. The ants go marching four by four. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four. The little guy stopped to close the door, and they all went marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Boom, boom, boom. The ants go marching five by five. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching five by five. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching five by five. The little guy stopped to look at a beehive, and they all went marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 my heart goes kaboom. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Was it you, Angela? Was it you, Pradeep? Was it you, Ashraf? Was it you, Sandy? Was it you, Ken? Was it you, Jake? Was it you, Sophia? Or was it you, Vanny? Boom, 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 my heart goes kaboom. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Was it you, Miss Coulterman? Yes. I have a feeling it was me. I took the cookie from the cookie jar. Now, a few more camp type songs. I know a little boy, his name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. And so goes his arm it goes so. His arm it goes always so ho ho. And so goes his other arm goes so. His other arm goes always so ho ho. I know a little boy, his name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. And so goes his hands and his arms, they go so. His hands and his arms go so ho ho. And so goes his hands and arms together. And so goes his hands and his arms. I know a little boy, his name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. And so goes his arms, his hands and his arms. His arms and his hands and his arms. And so goes his arms and arms into hands and hands into arms. They go ho ho. I know a little boy. His name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. And so goes his head. His arms, they go so. His hands and his arms, they go so ho ho. His head and his arms, oh boy, it's hard to coordinate. And his arms, they go always so ho ho. I know a little Billy boy, his name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. And snap goes his hands, and oh goes his head, and out goes his arms, and clap goes his hands, and oh go his arms. His arms, they go so. His arms, they go always so ho ho. I know a little boy, his name is Silly Willy. He is so very nice, but he always acts so silly. That's kind of a fun camp song. Now here's another camp song. And often you would sing this song in parts, which means one group would start the song, and then the next group, and the third group, and perhaps a fourth group. But I'm all alone here in this little classroom, so I'm going to sing all the parts to the song. 1 bottle of pop, 2 bottle pop, 3 bottle pop, 4 bottle pop, 5 bottle pop, 6 bottle pop, 7 bottles of pop. Fish and chips and vinegar, vinegar, vinegar. Fish and chips and vinegar, pepper, 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 salt. Don't throw your junk in my backyard, my backyard, my backyard. Don't throw your junk in my backyard. My backyard's full. Let's try it all again. I'm going to do it slower so that you can join me. 1 bottle pop, 2 bottle pop, 3 bottle pop, 4 bottle pop, 5 bottle pop, 6 bottle pop, 7 bottles of pop. Fish and chips and vinegar, vinegar, vinegar. Fish and chips and vinegar, pepper, 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 salt. Don't throw your junk in my backyard, my backyard, my backyard. Don't throw your junk in my backyard. My backyard's full. Good for you. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. Coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. Coming round the mountain. Coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. Hold back. Riding 6 white horses when she comes. Hold back. Riding 6 white horses. Riding 6 white horses. Riding 6 white horses when she comes. Hold back. We'll all go out to meet her when she comes. Hi, babe. We'll all go out to meet her when she comes. Hi, babe. We'll all go out to meet her. We'll all go out to meet her. We will all go out to meet her when she comes. Hi, babe. Hold back. Toot, toot. Well, we'll have a great big party when she comes. Yum, yum. We'll have a great big party when she comes. Yum, yum. We'll have a great big party. We'll have a great big party. We will have a great big party when she comes. Yum, yum. Hi, babe. Hold back. Toot, toot. She'll be wearing pink pajamas when she comes. Scratch, scratch. Wearing pink pajamas when she comes. Scratch, scratch. Wearing pink pajamas. Wearing pink pajamas. Wearing pink pajamas when she comes. Scratch, scratch. Yum, yum. Hi, babe. Hold back. Toot, toot. That's a good old-fashioned song. I think I sang that a lot when I was a little girl. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Buena Vista to Vancouver Island. From the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. Our beautiful country of Canada. Another camp song. Now, this one I think you know from class. It has to do with spaghetti. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. Achoo! It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled out of the door. Now another pasta song, that has to do with spaghetti. Another camp song is about ravioli. And ravioli is a type of pasta. It's usually in the shape of either a circle or a square. And it's filled, sometimes it's filled with cheese, then pasta, then sauce, or sometimes it's filled with meat. Ravioli, we love ravioli, ravioli with lots and lots of meat. And that's how simple this camp song is. Let's try it together. Ravioli, we love ravioli, ravioli with lots and lots of meat. And each time you sing it, you get a little bit louder, because that's the fun of a campfire. and singing songs together at camp. It's a place where you can get a little bit louder. Ravioli, we love ravioli, ravioli with lots and lots of meat. A little louder. Ravioli, we love ravioli, ravioli with lots and lots of meat. A little louder. Ravioli, we love ravioli, ravioli with lots and lots of meat and cheese. Good for you. Listen to the water, listen to the water rolling down the river. Listen to the water, listen to the water rolling down the river. The boat goes down the river, it takes me to my home. The boat goes down the river, it takes me to my home. Now, when you're rowing a boat, I think I've shown you now, I showed you that a kayak, you move like this, left and right, and a paddle, for a canoe, you paddle like this. However, if you're rowing a boat, you use two hands to row a boat. You pull the oar, you pull it back and it moves the water. Michael rowed the boat ashore, Alleluia. Michael rowed the boat ashore, Alleluia. Or, remember I was telling you, the fishermen who are out on the East Coast in particular, but probably on the West Coast too, but in the East Coast, they're catching cod and salmon and crab and lobster, all sorts of things out on the ocean. But sometimes they just get tired and they're ready to retire. They don't want to work anymore. They're finished. And so a fisherman is walking inland with his oar, which is his big paddle for his rowboat. I'm marching inland from the shore. Over my shoulder, I'm carrying an oar. When someone asks me, what is that funny thing you've got? Then I know I'll never go to sea no more, no more. I know I'll never go to sea no more. And the sea is the same as saying an ocean. An ocean and a sea are the same. Let's practice our sound, the S sound. A sailor went to sea, to see what he could see. And all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. Let's try it again, a little bit faster. A sailor went to sea, to see what he could see. And all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. Good for you. Farmer Brownie had a dog. Bingo was his name, oh. B-I-N-G-O. 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 And Bingo was his name, oh. Good for you. Practicing the O. Now we've done the S and the O. And we've done some boom, boom, boom. Working on your lip closure. Throughout the summer, I want you to keep practicing keeping your lips closed. Especially, my friends, if you're doing cooking. I want you to do lots of cooking this summer, but when you're cooking, practice keeping your mouth closed so that you're not spitting into the food or drooling into the food. Good for you. Another camp song. Okay, this is called Purple Stew. I know it's an awkward one, isn't it? But that's the fun of camp songs, is you get to be silly at camp. I'm making a purple stew, do 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 do, making a purple stew, do 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 do, with purple potatoes and purple tomatoes and you, my friends. I'm making a purple stew, do 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 do, making a purple stew, do 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 do, with purple potatoes and purple tomatoes and purple of you, my friends. If you've got purple on, anyone wearing purple, I'm making a purple stew, do 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 do, making a purple stew, do 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 do, purple potatoes and purple tomatoes and you, my friend. All of those words are good for working on your lip closure. Making a purple stew, do 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 do, with purple potatoes and purple tomatoes and you, my friend. There we go. All things on earth shall pass under the sky, but music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live and never die. All summer long, keep the music going, my friends. Before we do calendar today, before we talk about the date, I want to show you this beautiful book. It's called The Giving Tree. And first of all, I want to show you at the back of the book, there's a couple of images I want to show you. This is the first one I want to show you. This is called the Métis. Remember I was telling you there's 3 Indigenous groups in Canada. The First Nation, the Métis, and the Inuit. Well, for the Métis Indigenous peoples, this is their beautiful Métis flag, and it's called the Infinity Flag. So today, for practicing your breathing, I want you to practice with me with this Infinity Flag. Breathe it in and out. Breathe it in and out. Breathe it in and out. You know, when this symbol, this infinity sign, is on a paper and you can look at it, it brings you to harmony. It brings you to calmness. It brings you to balanced. So the Métis people, when they did creations, when they did anything artistic, they often used this infinity sign in their paintings. And the other thing I want to show you from this Métis book, I've been showing you for a while now the 7 Sacred Teachings. Oops, where's my 7 Sacred Teachings book? There goes my tambourine. 7 Sacred Teachings for the First Nations peoples. And now I want to show you this beautiful Métis values circle. And the Métis people, the Indigenous people, believe that all of these things have to be in balance. If you have these things in balance, then you will live in harmony. And at the center of this wheel is the Creator. So there's a wonderful sense of spirituality about this. But these are the things that are the values for the Métis people. Respecting Mother Earth, very important. Patience, yes. This summer I really want you to work on being patient. You may not always get the things you want and when you want them, but you have to learn to be patient and calm. Tolerance, yes. Tolerance is important. Sometimes we're asked to really do some things that we don't necessarily want to do. For example, let's say I ask you to put the garbage outside at the road, and it's not really something you want to do. However, if you learn to be more tolerant and able to do the task, that's a wonderful value inside of you, just to be calm. Respect. That's right out of the 7 sacred teachings. Respect, treating other people the way you would want to be treated. Love, my personal favorite. Love is the only answer, my friends. Kindness. Next to love, kindness, I think, is so important. Just be kind. Treat all people with respect and kindness. Strength. I like this. I think that's important, that we all have personal strength. For example, for Miss Coulterman, it means like not always crying when I get emotional about things that are really happy or really sad. So maybe my strength has to come from inside, that I'm not so emotional with crying all the time. Even if I see a beautiful sunset or a beautiful sunrise, I just start to cry because it's so beautiful. But I think I'm really going to work on strength, my internal strength. The next one is sharing. Well, that's an important value. Especially at school, we do a lot of sharing of materials, resources. Caring, absolutely. Right up there with kindness and love and respect. Caring for each other, taking care of each other, helping each other. Courage, trying things that you wouldn't normally do, being courageous. Honesty, number 1 rule. Being truthful, being honest. These are all important values in the Métis tradition. So this story is called The Giving Tree. And you can see in Métis art, these are some important things you can see. The infinity sign. You can also see that they use a lot of dots, dots in their artwork. And lots of beautiful colors. The Giving Tree. A long time ago, there was once a tree. It was an old, twisted Manitoba maple. This Manitoba maple was special, as she had a large, weathered hollow within the trunk. So there's a hole here, and there's a hollow in the trunk, meaning that there's like an open area in the trunk of this tree. Maybe this hollow was once home to a family of birds, or it might have been a sleeping place for a traveling porcupine. See, I see more dots, and I see spirals. That's another beautiful shape in Métis paintings, spirals. One thing for certain, This tree was beloved by my grandpa. Grandpa often called this tree the giving tree. So I asked my grandpa to tell me the story from his childhood memories. And that's how a lot of Indigenous stories get carried on from one generation to another through storytelling. They share the history of the past. A long time ago, when I was a little boy, said the grandpa, my mama and papa often traveled by horse and cart. Here's the cart. And we would travel to another town to visit my relatives. My favorite part of our trip was the pipe break at the Giving Tree. So part way between his town and the next town was the Giving Tree, and they would stop there. It was halfway between each of those Métis villages. It was the Métis way to stop for tea and bannock at the Giving Tree. And bannock was a special type of bread that was made by the Indigenous people. It had flour and some butter and some, I believe, some sugar in it. And they would wrap it around a stick and cook it in the fire, just like this. As small children, we got very excited at the sight of the Giving Tree. When we saw the Giving Tree from a distance, we knew we were close to taking a break. And here is the Giving Tree. It was fun to unload our wagon for a friendly family picnic. So at the Giving Tree, they would stop and have a picnic. I hope you have lots of picnics this summer. We love to make a small fire to boil our tea, to cook our bannock type of bread, and to gather round to listen to stories. So here they are, busy starting the fire. And you can see, I was telling you about all these dots in the Métis paintings, and some spirals. The most magical memory that I have was the time when my mama forgot to pack the sugar. So here's the storage box that they carry everything in. Here's that beautiful infinity harmony sign. And Mama looked in the box and she said, "Oh dear, I forgot the sugar for the tea." So Dad, my papa, lifted me up to look inside of the Giving Tree. And there was some sugar. In fact, inside the Giving Tree were all sorts of things that people had put there. When they journeyed past the Giving Tree, they would leave something there. And the important part of this story is that you give something to someone else who might need it. It says, "To my surprise, in the bottom of the hollow of the tree was sugar, tea, bundles of tobacco, letters, flour, and even a pair of moccasins, shoes if someone needed shoes, or a basket, a woven basket if someone needed it." And the idea is, inside this Giving Tree, there are things that if you needed them when you were traveling through, you could take what you needed, But you could also add to the giving tree. You could put things into the giving tree. For generations, the tree hollow was used by the Métis travelers as a cachet. A cachet is like a place, a cachet, a place that holds a number of things. And it could help people in time of need. That's so beautiful. But you can also leave things there for someone else. For many, many generations, this tree, the giving tree, was a cachet or a symbol of honesty and respect. People would leave things for others. Oh, and one day, well, this is a special story too. Papa told me a story about once a young man left a beautiful engagement ring for his sweetheart. An engagement ring is a ring for someone that you're going to marry. He left it inside the tree. But 2 days later, the ring was delivered to his sweetheart by someone else who picked up the ring and took it to the next town to his sweetheart. And that's honesty, my friends. Papa loved our old Métis ways of honesty and respect, caring, kindness, love, courage, loving Mother Earth, honoring the Creator. Papa spoke of our beliefs. If you take something from the tree cachet, you are responsible to put something back into the tree. So for example, they took some sugar to use for their tea, but then they put some flour back in the cachet, in the tree, for somebody else. Papa reminded me that it is our Métis way to be kind and generous and to help others. That is so beautiful. Mama came over to the tree to get the sugar canister. She put several folded polka dot handkerchiefs in my hand to put into the hollow of the tree. That is so kind of her. So she's passing on polka dot handkerchiefs to someone else. A handkerchief is a Kleenex. We use Kleenex from a Kleenex box. But years ago, people carried a cloth that was their handkerchief. Oh, look, this is so beautiful. This is a nice family picture. That was the day I understood why the old-timers called it the giving tree. She understood everything good that we Métis people believe in, which is to be honest, kind, loving, to care for other people, to be helpful. And that's the story of the giving tree. The giving tree keeps giving to other people if they need it. And then at the end of the story, look at how beautiful that is, all the polka dots. At the end of the story, Grandpa says, or my dad, I should say, says, tell our stories so that future generations will remember about the true spirit of being Métis. And once more, I'm going to show you this beautiful Métis image. of all the special values. I think we'll look at that again tomorrow because it's such an important message of being honest and true and courageous and brave and loving and kind. Now, I would like to change my painting from yesterday. You might recall that yesterday I made a summer tree. And I decided after reading that Métis story, I would like to add some polka dots to my tree, like the story of the giving tree. So the first thing I want to do, I'm just looking for my marker here. First thing I want to do is add some infinity signs, because we now know that the infinity sign is really important in the Métis tradition. It means harmony and balance, and so the indigenous Métis people put this infinity sign. There we go. There's one. I think I'm going to put one more over here. 2 infinity signs, just to remind us of the importance of harmony and balance in the Métis tradition. There, I've added 2. And then I'm going to add some dots to my picture. First, some white paint, because white shows up nicely on the green background. And you might have noticed that in the book, in that Métis book, they used all sorts of beautiful colors. So I'm going to add some beautiful colors also. Some nice red. There we go, red. And some bright orange. This is a lovely bright orange color. And some yellow, another bright color. And I think I'm even going to use some pink, this bright pink color, because all of these colors are just so divine. There's a beautiful summer palette of colors. And because it's summer now, that's what I'm going to use. So first, I'm dipping a Q-tip, an ear, what do you call these? A Q-tip cotton swab. I'm dipping a cotton swab into my white paint, and I'm going around, around, around the infinity sign. Just like they had polka dots in the Métis picture. I'm going to go around, around, and you can make any picture you want using cotton swabs and paint. And now I'm going to use this gorgeous red color. And with the red, I want to make a spiral. I saw some spirals. There we go. There's a spiral. And another spiral. And I'm going to make some spirals in my picture. There were lots of spirals I noticed in the Métis book. Spirals often indicate growth. You're growing from one place and spiraling to another. So on my giving tree, I'm adding some spirals. There we go. go. Now, in order to make my tree a giving tree, I'm going to use the orange paint to make a big hollow in the tree. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to make it an oval shape. And the oval is going to represent the hollow for the giving tree. There we go. Nice, bright color. There we go. You can see that oval now represents the hole or the hollow where you could put the cachet for the giving tree. Now I've got this gorgeous pink color. And with the pink, I'm going to add some beautiful dots, a path of dots. Oh, it's hard to see that, isn't it, with the light coming in the window? Dots. And with the pink, I'm going to add dots to my picture. And that's my giving tree, just like in the story. The beautiful Métis giving tree. Now I have a few other things on my desk here that I want to show you. During the summer, I'd like each of you to practice with your scissors every day. So I've made some designs on the paper. You can practice cut, 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 or you can go round and round and round and round. Practice cutting on the line, or you can practice zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, or back and forth. And the last one is just like the spiral on the Métis giving tree. I want you to practice cutting on the line, cutting around, around, around the spiral. Okay? So every day, cutting with your scissors. And here's something else I think you can do. At school, we practice folding paper and putting it in an envelope. Take your paper, fold it 1/3. Fold it 1/3, about that much. Fold it another third. And practice pushing down the paper. Push. And then practice stuffing it in an envelope. This is stuffing the paper in the envelope. I think you could do it, my friend. Take a paper, fold it once, fold it twice, and each fold, look at this, each fold represents about 1/3 of the paper. 1, 2, 3, folded, folded, squish it down on each side, and then stuff it into an envelope. So that's something else you can be doing. Now, this is something else I think you can be practicing at your house. Perhaps you have a Kleenex box or any kind of box. You can practice lacing, practice putting the string, the lace, through the holes And then throughout the summer, you can practice. Tie it, cross it over, and pull it through. That gives you a knot. Make a loop, 2 loops, over and through. Let's try that again. Watch closely. I cross it over and pull it through. Loop, loop. Some people say it's like rabbit ears. 2 rabbit ears, cross it over and pull it through. So practice working on that this summer. That would be great. I've been introducing you to an artist named Mark Anthony Jacobson. And Mark Anthony Jacobson is from Sioux Lookout, Ontario. And he's an Indigenous artist. And I found this beautiful painting by Mark Anthony Jacobson. And the reason why I want to show you this one is it represents the teacher and the student. And because today is our graduation celebration, I thought it might be a nice day to show you the picture of the teacher and the student. We work in harmony together, teacher and student. This symbol means harmony, the yin and the yang, it's harmony together. The teacher and the student work together in harmony. I thought that was pretty for today, for graduation day. I also want to circle back. Oh, guess what I found? I forgot I had this. In the Métis story of the Giving Tree, the family were stopping at the Giving Tree to have a picnic, and the mama was making bannock. And this is what bannock looks like. She needed the sugar to put in the tea that they were drinking, but this is bannock. And bannock is an indigenous type of, I guess you could say, bread, that they mix it all together, then they put it on the end of a stick, and they cook it in the fire until it's cooked. And in this, they put flour, salt, baking powder, a little bit of butter, and some water. And they mix it all together and bake it. And this is the wonderful bread that comes out. It's called bannock. And that's an indigenous food. Now, just to end our time today, and then I'll get ready for the graduation this afternoon, I love thinking about all the different animals that we have in Canada. And the Indigenous people in particular really honor all of the animals. They have special stories and traditions around each animal representing something different and the spirit of each of those animals. In fact, you might remember I showed you the totem poles of the West Coast, and they have all the different images of spirit animals and various representations, excuse me, of animals that tell the story of the people who live there. So let's have one more glance at some of these Canadian animals. The moose and the goose. Canadian animals. Let's start with the A for Arctic fox. The Arctic fox is white to camouflage with the snow and ice. B is for beaver or bison. C is for caribou, the animal that's on our quarter coin, or the caribou baby is called a calf. Letter D is for dragonfly. I love dragonflies. E is the eagle. The eagle is very important in the indigenous tradition. And a baby eagle is called an eaglet. F is for frog. 5 green and speckled frogs. You can see the dots, the speckles on the frog. G is for a goose, a Canadian goose. A baby goose is called a gosling. H is for a hare. Hop, 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 like a rabbit. I is for the ivory gulls that are around the ocean. J is for a jellyfish that are in the ocean. K is for a killer whale that is in the ocean. L is for the loon. Lands on the beautiful lakes in Ontario. And the loon is on our dollar coin. $1 is a loonie. M is for a moose. And look at how big it is. Da moose, swimming in the water, eating his supper. He went to sleep. He went to sleep. That's another camp song. N is for narwhal. That's something you see in the ocean, in the far north, in the Arctic Ocean. O is for an otter. I oughter know. An otter can be in an ocean, or there are also lake and river otters. P is for a polar bear. And often you see the polar bear on a toonie coin in Canada, worth $2. A toonie, you can see a polar bear. Q is for a quail. This bird is called a quail. Q. R for a raccoon. S for a skunk. For a skunk. T is for a turtle. And remember, in the indigenous story, the creation story, all of the land that we live on in North America was called Turtle Island. T is also for a toad or a trout. This type of fish is called a trout, a lake trout, I guess. T. Letter U is the U in a beluga whale. Beluga, that lives in the ocean. W is for a walrus, and a walrus lives up at the Arctic Ocean. V is for a vulture. You see these birds flying around up above us, and when they dive down to the ground, they're going to get small animals that they're going to eat. A vulture is a predator, and they prey on small animals like a mouse or a rat or a snake. W is for a wolf. lynx is like the X at the end of the word muskox. And this animal, it's a weird looking animal, isn't it? Very woolly looking. Muskox. And X can also be in the word lynx. Lynx. A lynx is a type of cat, but it's much bigger than the cat in your house. It's almost like the size of a fox. Y, letter Y, is for a yellow throat or yellow legs on a bird or a yellow jacket. And Z for a grizzly bear. So those are some of the animals that we honor in Canada. Friends, I will remember you. I'll think of you. I'll play with you. And when another day is through, I'll still be friends with you. Goodbye, friends, and I'll see you this afternoon online for our graduation.